Okay, so we are now solidly in 2022. How's your year going so far? What are we now, 12 days in? Perfect, great. Okay, so I got a question for you. How does your life get better? Because for most of us, or many of us, we have been taught that the way that our life gets better is for us to get smarter. That if we get smarter, then we don't make, if we get smarter, then we make better choices. And if we get smart enough, we can solve all of our problems, right? And really the mass appeal is how do we help people get smart enough to make better decisions, right? But the other way to look at this one is that if maybe it's not about just being smarter. Maybe it's really about becoming more loving. And when you look at your best decisions and your worst decision, was your worst decision based on the fact that you were just stupid? Or you didn't know, right? And was your best decision based on the fact that you were just so much smarter than everybody else and you just made this terrifically right decision? See, what I want us to really begin to see is that we have this cultural belief that if I can get smart enough, I can outthink life. I can outthink the world. I can outthink the people around me. And if I can just get smart enough, I can solve every problem. But I really believe that if we're going to heal ourselves and our world, that it really is it's an issue in love. That I believe that when you were making your best decisions, you felt guided by love. You felt called in a direction, and you trusted love, and you made that decision. And your best decisions were really when you trusted that love was guiding you and directing you and calling you into a greater reality. And what's interesting about this year that we're in now is it's a triple 2 year, right? What does that mean? Well, 2 often represents relationships and love. It's about coming together, right? And the first millennium, last 1,000 years before the last 22, last 1,000 years, it was a 1 millennium. Now, what does that mean? A 1 millennium is about the individual. It's about supporting the individual, right? And if you look at from the beginning of AD to 1999, it was a journey if you look at a big context of history, it was the journey of the individual. Like when we began the last 1,000 years, right? It was a journey of the individual discovering their own identity and power. And most of the first millennium, there was a dominant person in charge, whether it was religious or political. There was one person in charge, and they were in charge of everybody. But as we moved through that first millennium, we watched as the individuals, the collective individuals, actually in political systems and religion, that one king or one person in charge system broke down over and over again, and it became more collective, right? And then, now we're in the second millennium, that is all about relationship. We moved from the I of the first millennium to the we of the second millennium, right? So the second millennium is all about how do we work together, how do we create collectively, not just how do we create as individuals, but how do we create together to create a world, like to create experiences for family, for friends, for the whole thing. How do we do it as a we? And when you're used to being an I, moving into a we can be challenging. Right? Because when you're an I, you think about everything from the point of view, what's in it for me, right? But when we move into a we, it then becomes a collective opportunity. It becomes people working together to create something. And we look in the church, how the church is a demonstration of a we, that we create it together. This place survives because of a greater we, right? It's a we that builds this. So this year, we're in a triple 2-year. And if you add the 3 2s together, you get a 6. And I want to just, because I love these numbers things. So if I've gone too woo-woo to start this year, God bless you, but you know I'm going to get woo-woo as we go, right? So here we go. In numerology, the personal year 6 is known as the marriage or divorce year, because 6 is the vibration of love and relationship. This is the major theme of this year also for individuals. So because this is a triple relationship year, things are going to get much better or they're going to start breaking down, right? Does that make sense? And I'm not predicting anything. It is the marriage year. So it's a triple 2 year that everything is coming up, right? With each year, there is a light and a shadow side representing the highest vibration and the lowest vibration that we can experience. On the light side, a 6-year is the ability to tap into higher ideals of love, strengthen relationship, and heal our deepest wound. And I really want to speak into that, right? Because in a triple 2 year, if there's something in your life that you've been dragging into every new experience, this is the year where you want to take on healing your deepest wound. If there's an issue from childhood, if there's an issue from your family, this is the year where we have 3 levels of love to heal every wound that we are still carrying with us. So I want to speak into that because my desire for all of us is that we take on this year healing whatever it is that you've been dragging along with you, right? So I have this belief, right, that says that we come into this life experience whole and complete and lacking in nothing. We come into this life experience really just this pristine experience of God. And what I want is I want you to leave this life experience in that same condition. And this is the year, individually and collectively, where we can heal at a very deep level, all right? So that we can heal our deepest wound going on. But on the shadow side, the 6 can also bring about a lot of shame, difficult emotions, and a pressure to carry out responsibilities that we didn't even realize we had, right? So the shadow side of this is all this stuff's going to come up, not to bury us, but so that we can heal it. So I want you to take a deep breath right now. And I want you to be willing, as we move into this year, to open a space for a greater experience of love, because love is the key that's going to heal it all. That whatever you've been carrying with you, whatever the pain has been, whatever the past has been around, this is your year to hear it. Gary Zukav wrote this. Eventually you will come to understand that love heals everything. Love is all there is. So this is our year. This is our year to heal, to take our relationships higher, to restore those things that have broken down or been disappointed. This is our opportunity to heal individually, but because this is a triple 2 year, this is our opportunity also to heal every relationship. This year is wired for us to heal at our deepest level. Laura Kay wrote this in the book Ride Rough. She said, love is the only thing that doesn't hurt. So many people are afraid of it. I think I was 5 years ago, afraid that loving would hurt me the one way or another. But love doesn't hurt. Abuse hurts. Loneliness hurts. Jealousy hurts. Lies hurt. But love heals. Love puts back together the things that we thought would be broken forever. So here's where we're going to go, right? I'm going to invite you this year. I've dedicated personally, and for the Wednesday night service, I've dedicated this year to love, right? That we're going to move into this experience of love, and we're going to open it up so that we get to heal whatever is going on. And that applies to you people that are watching us online. Whatever is going on, we're going to take this and we're going to just move it forward in a profound sense of love so that we get to heal at a deeper level than we've ever known before. So let's begin with what is love. So love, many people say, I love you, and in a romantic way, or to their family, they say, I love you. And in reality, God is love, right? So God is infinite love, and each and every one of us is channels for that love for ourselves and for each other. So the way that we express love or experience love is that we have to open our hearts, right? If our heart isn't open, because we have free will, if our heart isn't open, love isn't happening, right? So if we move into this year, I want us to be really mindful of opening our hearts so that love happens. Because for most of us, our opening of our heart is happening very unconsciously. Like if we see a cute puppy or a kitten or one of our grandkids or whatever it is, we see a cute Budweiser commercial on TV with the puppy and the Clydesdales or whatever it is, like our heart just leaps open, right? And the moment our heart leaps open, this unbelievable amount of love begins to flow through us. But unless our heart is open, love is not happening. Like sometimes we say, well, I love you, but I don't really like you, right? Or I love you, but would you get out of my way, right? And as soon as we make a judgment about anything or anyone, I want you to see that your heart automatically closes. So love doesn't happen with an open heart. And what's amazing about love in your heart, not your biological heart, but your spiritual heart, what's amazing about your spiritual heart is that you can literally tactically feel it when your heart is open. If you put your hands on your chest, most people can tell if their heart is open or closed because they can literally feel the energy moving through their body, moving through their soul with an open heart. So I want you to practice this for a minute, okay? Because there's no point in having a whole year of love if we're not doing it, right? If we're just thinking loving thoughts isn't loving, right? It's nice, but it's just not love, right? So I want you to think about someone or something in your life that you just love. And I want you to put your hands on your chest, one or both, and I want you just to feel love flowing through you. I want you to feel how much love can flow through you. Now I want you to think of somebody who you've been in conflict with, you're upset with, maybe you don't like very much, and I want you to feel how quickly your heart closes. Because we can't be in judgment, we just can't be in judgment with an open heart, because the moment we move into judgment, our head shuts down our heart. Now think about someone you love again, and just feel your heart open again, and you can literally feel it. That this year, I want you to be conscious of how much time you're spending with an open heart. Because my guess is you're not spending near the amount of time that you think. That most of us, when we're at work or we're driving or we're getting things done, we kind of close our hearts when we're being busy because it's not necessary. We're not loving. We're just getting the stuff done. We're driving. We're work. We're whatever we're doing. We just close down our hearts. And what I want you to see this year is I want you to do more and more activities with an open heart. And I want you to be so good at opening your heart that you can open your heart bigger than you ever thought was imaginable. That you can see that your heart has this capacity to expand, to open, to be just absolutely enormous. And the more that you open your heart, the more of God's infinite love flows through you, right? But now, the interesting thing is that your heart not only has a gate that opens outwardly, it also opens inwardly toward you. That if you want to heal your deepest wound this year, not only are you going to have to open toward the world, but the real kicker is going to be when you open your heart toward you, when you open it from the inside, and you allow the pure love of God to fill your being, to fill your body, your soul, your essence. When you open your heart inwardly, then the flow of love is for you. And some of us do that really very sparingly. Like if we have a really good day, we open our heart to us and we open it just a little crack, right? But we're not living with a big, wide open heart for us. For many of us, it's easier for us to have a big, wide open heart for everybody else, and we're still a little chintzy when it comes to ourselves, right? And what I want you to do this year, what we're going to practice, is how big can you swing the doors of your heart open toward the world, but also how big can you swing the doors of your heart toward you? Because for most of us, we are just not being generous with love for ourselves, so that we can't heal our deepest need if we're not being generous with love. So take a deep breath, and I want you to just imagine opening your heart fully toward you. I want you to have every ounce of love that God wants to bestow upon you. I want you just to open your heart all the way and just let your entire body be just drenched in pure love. And feel what that feels like, just to be that generous with yourself. And then open it toward the world and feel what it feels like to open your heart all the way to everyone around you. This is what Jesus said. Luke 6, but I say to you, listen, love your enemies, do good for those who hate you, bless those who would curse you, pray for those who abused you. Anyone who strikes you on the cheek, offer them the other. And anyone who takes away your coat, do not withhold even your shirt. Give to everyone who begs from you. And if anyone takes away your good, do not ask for it back. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And if you love those who love you, what credit is that? Even the sinners love those who love them. And if you do good for only those who do good unto you, what credit do you get for that? Even sinners do the same. And if you lend money only to those people who give and offer you credit, even sinners lend money to sinners. So receive much again. Love your enemies and do good and lend unexpectedly, expecting nothing in return. Your reward will be great because you are children of the Most High, for He is kind to the grateful and the wicked. He is merciful for the just and the unjust, for He is the Father of mercy. I mean, that's a big commitment, right? And because we want life to be fair, because we love thinking that life should be fair. And if life is fair, then I give to the people who give to me. I'm kind to the people who are kind to me. I love the people that love me. And if they don't love me, it's fair that I don't love them back, right? But that just keeps us in a finite world. It keeps us in a world of lack and limitation. That when I go the extra mile and I open my heart all the way and I really experience and open to the infinite, then I really discover how infinite God is. And that's the power that we're in right now. That is that love can heal everything. But not with a closed heart, not with a chintzy spirit, not when we're counting every nickel, when we're worried about what's in it for you and who's giving to you and who's generous enough and who's kind enough and who's loving enough that is worthy of your love. This is the year where we just pop it wide open and just allow love to flow through us and get so deep in the flow of the infinite that we become more blessed than we've ever been before. This is our year to really take a huge spiritual step forward. And it all happens in love. It happens when we learn to love in bigger and bigger ways, in ways that are transformative. Okay, so you're ready for your homework for this year? And this year I have 5. I know, I usually give you 1 homework assignment. This year I have 5 homework assignments. If you want to take notes, get a pen out, or you can just maybe we can put it on Facebook tonight. Here it is. Your 5 homework assignments for this year. The first one is don't add conflict. Now you think, well, that seems kind of easy. Well, sometimes we like to add conflict. Sometimes we want to just zing somebody and we just want to kind of, and sometimes we just want to, speaking in love, and then we just want to zing a little bit, right? That this year, if we fully move into a 2, we are not going to add conflict, right? We're not going to absorb it. We're not going to watch media that is about conflict. We're not going to move into conflict. We're not going to just worry about what those people are doing to us or what that person said. We're just literally not going to gossip. We're not going to worry about all the little petty things. We're not going to add conflict. All right? Are you willing to make a little pinky swear with me? So our pinky swear, get your pinky swear out. We're going to do a pinky swear. And to the best of my ability, I will not add conflict this year. Together? To the best of my ability, I will not add conflict this year. Right? To the best of my ability. Now, if somebody cuts you off, just do the best of your ability. Right? Right? If somebody says something that's not very nice to you, to the best of your ability. Right? And some days, if your blood sugar's dropping, they might get a double dose. But to the best of your ability, do not add conflict this year, right? 2, live open-hearted. So this year, we are going to practice living more open-hearted. We are going to practice opening our heart as we're driving to work, as we're running errands, as we're doing our work, as we're cleaning the house, as we're doing whatever we do. We're going to intentionally, consciously practice opening our heart, filling whatever it is we're doing with love. So the laundry is just going to be the most loved laundry you've ever seen before. And when you're waxing that table or when you're changing the oil, when I'm going to go into the Ford dealership tomorrow to get my oil changed, hang on, man. That Ford dealership is going to sparkle because I'm going to be loving it for the whole time I'm there, right? And it's not one of my favorite places, right? But I'm going to be intentional about opening my heart and filling it with love. And I think there's probably situations in your life that you've decided are not your most loving places, right? And I want you to just open your heart and see if you can be intentional with your open heart. 3, I want you to pick a person of love. Now, what is a person of love? Well, I've given this example before, and I come back to it over and over again. This year, I want you to pick one person that you're going to consistently practice loving in a bigger way. It could be a family member. It could be a boss or an employee. It could be a neighbor. It could be somebody that's just you see on TV. I want you to pick one person that is your person of love. And this is person, maybe somebody that challenges you, somebody that it's hard for you to love, somebody you don't want to love, somebody you may not even like, right? And your job for your person of love is to open your heart and love them. Like if you have a neighbor that just always cuts their bushes or parks in your spot or their dog does his duty on your lawn or whatever it is, right? Right, whatever that is, I want you to pick that person and practice. He or she this year is your person of love. And this is the way you're going to practice mastering love, by seeing how much you can love them. Now, if you love them, will that change their behavior? It may, but it may not. And you're not doing it to change them. You're doing it to change, like we're doing it to change ourselves, right? So number 3, I want you to have a person of love. No, that's number 3, person of love. Number 4, I want you to look for ways that you can add more love to the world. I want you just to be mindful of situations, of moments, and those moments are important, and I don't want you to miss those moments. I want you to look for ways that you can add more love to the world, and that you're on a secret mission now, right? You're a 00 love, right? And you're a secret spy, and your job is to add more love to the world. Look for ways to add love. And the 5th one is, this one is 100% just for you. I want you to bring love to the places within you that has felt the most wounded this year. I want you to bring love. I want you to send love. I want you to accept love. I want you to receive love in the place in you where you have felt the most wounded. Because I literally want you to come through this year and have your deepest wound healed. Like for many of us, there's something that we've been carrying with us a long time. And we just kind of put it out of our mind. We put it behind us. We don't think about it. We try not to worry about it. We just kind of keep moving. And this year, whatever you have felt like has been your deepest wound in this lifetime, this one we're going to keep bringing and loving that part of us. We're going to keep bringing that up. We're going to keep inviting God and love to go right there. We're going to heal that thing so that we get to move through this year whole and complete and lacking in nothing. Are you willing? Will you take a deep breath and join me in prayer? And I invite you to open your mind, your heart, your soul to the activity of love. That only love dwells here now. That pure love dwells here now. It's within you. It's all around you. And tonight we open our hearts all the way. We open our hearts inwardly. And we allow that infinite love just to bathe us. And we open our hearts toward the world. And we truly begin to experience the infinite love of God. That we are here to be deeply transformed this year. To move from an I mentality to a we mentality. To build collectively, to build together a world that works for everybody. So in the name and through the power of the living Christ, we give thanks. And so it is. Amen.